Okay, we're confirming solutions to systems of equations. So we're going to have two lines, and we're going to see if this is the point that they intersect at. So to put these two equations into our calculator, they need to be solved for y. So let me write this first one. And now we're going to solve that for y. So we want to be on the side that the y is on. We're going to get rid of everything on this side, and y will be by itself, and then we'll do the other equation. First, we got to get rid of our x, and there's an invisible 1 here. And then since that's positive 1, we're going to do the opposite, subtract 1x, and subtract 1x from this side. We're going to bring down our, that's negative, or subtract 2y, so that's, we're going to bring it down. So negative 2y on this side. And then we're going to put our x term first. It's negative 1x, and that's positive 5. To get rid of the number in front of y, the coefficient in front of y, that's multiply, so the opposite will be divide. So we're going to divide, and it's negative 2. Everything gets divided by negative 2. Now y is negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1, so y is left by itself. Then negative 1 divided by negative 2 in our calculator. And we're not going to leave it as a decimal, so we can hit math, enter, enter, and it'll change it to a fraction. That's going to simplify to positive 1/2 x. And then positive 5 divided by negative 2. Math, enter, enter to make sure it's in fraction form. That's going to give us negative 5/2, so we show that as subtract 5/2. So this equation is solved for y. We'll have to do the second equation. We're going to get rid of our x term. It's positive 2x, so we're going to subtract 2x. We'll bring down our negative y. And then this side will be negative 2x plus 7. We are almost done. This negative, we need to get rid of this negative. There is a 1 there. It's invisible. Negative 1, to get rid of the negative 1, we divide by negative 1. And then negative 2 over negative 1, we'll simplify that in our calculator. Negative 2 over negative 1 will simplify to positive 2. And then 7 over negative 1 will simplify to negative 7. So we'll put minus 7. So now we have our two equations. We can put both of these in here and graph them and see if this is the point they intersect at. So I'm going to hit y equals. I'm going to put in my first equation, and it has a fraction, so it's alpha y equals enter 1/2. Right arrow key to get out of the fraction, x minus alpha y equals enter gives me another fraction, 5/2. I just use my arrow down to get to the next y to put in the second equation, 2x minus 7. Hit the graph key. So they intersect right over here. To find out what that point is, it looks like it might be 3, -1. Let's double check. So second trace, we want intersect. First curve, you hit the enter key, enter key, enter key. When it says intersection, that's the point that they intersect at, which is 3, -1. So yes, this point is a solution. So we're going to just write yes. Okay. I will also work out example 4 and 6 on your notes so that you can see how these are all worked out and you have some examples to go by. I'm not going to do it on the video. Then you're going to have some problems like this, where they give you the table for each of the lines, so we need an equation that's in y equals, so then we can find out where they intersect at. So we're going to put this first table in, and I'll show you how to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is clear my calculator, which is second plus 712. To put in this table, you're going to hit the stat button, and you want edit. And then they give you these columns. So L1 is going to be all of our X values, and the L2 are going to be all of our Y values. So I'm going to put in all my X values first. So I'm going to hit 0, and then I'm going to hit the enter key, 2, enter, 4, enter, 6, enter. So I entered all the X values. I'm going to use my arrow keys to get back up to the top of the Y. I'm going to start putting them in 3, enter, 7, enter, 11, enter, 15, enter. So once I have these in, be careful because these tables are written side by side or left to right, and these are going up and down. So make sure you get the numbers in correctly. So now I hit my stat key again. But this time I want to move over to calc. So I'm going to use my right arrow key to go to this calc. And then I want to go down to where it says len reg 8x plus b, which on my calculator is number 4. And right here, you're just going to hit enter, 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 enter until you get to calculate, and then hit enter one more time. And this gives you the equation. So it tells you that it's y equals ax plus b. It tells you what the a is going to be. It tells you what the b is going to be. So in this calculator, the a is our slope. So we're going to plug that 2 in right here where the a is. Our b is our y-intercept, and we're going to plug that in right here. So when we write the equation, it'll look like this. 2x plus 3.
Good afternoon, staff and students. We'll begin releasing shortly. That we do.
Now we're going to do our second table. So second plus 712 clears the calculator. Stat, we want edit. And then we're going to put in those values. 8, enter, 10, enter, 12, 14. Use your arrow keys to get to the y's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to hit the stat key again. This time move over to calc. And you want number 4 len reg. You're just gonna, you can arrow down here, or you can hit enter until you get to calculate, until you get your A and your B to write your equation. So 0.5, I'm gonna write it 0.5 x, and then B is -3, so I'm just gonna, you can write plus a -3, or you can write subtract 3. Your calculator do both. Just be careful when you put it in your y equals, because now we're gonna put these two in our y equals. 2x plus 3. 0.5x. Now, here's where I want to be careful. If I put subtract 3, make sure you use the subtraction key. If you're going to put a plus -3, then make sure you use the negative key. They are not the same. So I'm going to go ahead and just say subtract 3. Graph it. We see that intersects here. To find out what that point is, it's second trace. We want intersect. And we're going to hit enter, enter, enter. Here's our intersection point. That's our solution. -4, -5. And you may have questions like this. What is the x coordinate of the solution? Well, that's the -4. And what's the y coordinate? Well, that's the -5. I will work out these other problems so you have something to check. The video is only going to include this example.